Hello, everybody. This is Terry with your Lionsgate 888 astrology report specific to the 2025 Lionsgate that began on July 26th when the Sirius star gateway opened on that Leo new moon. And there is really magic afoot in our world right now. And I have my own personal manifestation story that just has to be related to this magnificent Sirius star Lionsgate that we're soaking in for all of July, going into August, peaking on August 8th when I teach my Reiki class at Seventh Mountain Resort. And this mystical, magical, otherworldly manifesting energy portal will be bringing us higher wisdom and heavenly favors from unseen forces that will just take us right through August 21st when that Leo new moon has finally completed its lunar cycle. So it's not like Lionsgate is just one day, like you got to catch it on August 8th. I mean, we're really soaking in it from July 26th to August 21st. This is your opportunity to manifest whatever your heart desires. Leave it in the comments what you want to manifest, and I will send you some manifesting distance Reiki. I'm a Scorpio with the Leo rising, and I am a really good manifester. I always get what I want. I don't mean to brag. That sounds very Leo braggy, but it's just true. That's just my reality. And when the Leo new moon completes its lunar cycle, we're going to have two Virgo new moons they call that a new moon, blue moon, when you have two in a row, two Virgo new moons back to back right after this. So stay tuned till the end to hear how I manifested a lottery win by simply hearing my name. It's a really great story that I was working out with one of my Reiki master students on how to manifest. It turns out hearing your name is a great way to manifest, and how this could be a sign for you right now just to hear your name. And I'm going to do a fun thing I've never done before. I'm going to read off some names at the end. And if you hear your name, I'm just going to channel names, and then I have a couple names that I want to read. If you hear your name, you will receive a free distance Reiki for this Lionsgate portal to manifest. So stay tuned for that. And I will send you this radiant golden Lionsgate energy because this is a rainbows and unicorn. Anything is possible. Dare to dream big. And then dream even bigger and bigger. How big can you dream? What is the biggest thing you could dream for? If you could have anything you want, the genie comes, with the lamp and you rub it. You get three wishes. What are your three wishes? Make sure that you don't get tricked. But this is the best Lionsgate portal to manifest. And it feels like our whole world is manifesting. We are in for a massive shift towards the light. The Sirius dog star right there above my head. Just having some fun here with the Lionsgate today. That Sirius dog star, it's the spiritual sun. It shines a light on our soul. And it is really shining a light on our world. We have the most auspicious. I've been studying the Lionsgate since 1991. I started getting really into this and studying it when I was in college at good old Chico State. And so I have been following this Lionsgate since 91. I've never seen a Lionsgate this auspicious in my whole life. This is the one. This is your moment. This is when you can really make things happen. And our whole world is shifting into this massive shift towards the light. And can you feel that our ancestors and spirit guides and little whispers of wisdom are showing up to guide us? And we might have some shakeups to wake up this month. There could be geomagnetic activity. There could be volcanoes, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, fire, you name it. I mean, This is a wake-up call that we are having in this Lionsgate portal, but I'm here for it. Let's make a change, and it is time to align to the highest frequency timeline, or you might be left behind in this great ascension to the 5D reality. And just right now, I want to dive into the most auspicious Lionsgate because of the rarest celestial alignment on a Lionsgate I've ever seen. This year, we have Jupiter, Sirius, and Venus all coming together during the week of the Lionsgate. This has never happened on the Lionsgate because Jupiter is only in Cancer once every 12 years. And Sirius Dog Star used to be in Leo, but now Sirius has moved back because of the precession of stars. Sirius is actually in Cancer right now. I got to do a whole video on the precession of stars. It's a whole thing. And all you really need to know is that the Lion's Gate will be in Jupiter's point of exaltation at 15 degrees of Cancer. This will never happen again in our lifetime. This has never happened anytime in recorded history that I know of because it's just that procession of stars that it's all coming together now. And this is a spiritual force of nature that we can tap into. We tap into it by tapping into our heart and just taking that deep breath into your heart. You know, you can do that in a moment's notice. Just get really quiet this Lionsgate time and just try to tap into that higher wisdom. Become a magnet for all that you desire to show up in your life because this Lionsgate is about the divine spiritual waters returning to the dry desert bed to bring rebirth, wealth, fertility, nourishment, and the highest form of manifestation where we step into our power to create worlds. And this Lionsgate happens every single year when the Sirius star rises, as you see in this picture. I put this picture just to show you. I know some of my students are visual learners, so there you go. That's the Sirius star rising above the pyramid of Giza. And yes, I used AI for this image, but I never use AI for astrology. Somebody asked me that. Never, ever, ever. I channel from a higher source. I just like the pretty pictures. Anyways, so when this Sirius star aligns to the pyramid of Giza, this is on my bucket list. I would love to be in Egypt right now. I'll just be pretending Egypt right now with this image. When the Sirius star rises to the Sirius Gateway opening, Sirius begins to move towards its alignment with the Regulus star in the heart of Leo, the heart of the Lion King. The lion is king of the jungle, right? So this is a lot of king energy, but the good kind of king energy. And when Sirius aligns with the Regulus star in the heart of the Lion King, this opens a highest vibrational energy portal that only happens once a year, and it's on August 8th, and that relates to Egypt, which has a 888 degree of like when Egypt was born. If you do the astrocartography, Egypt is all about the Lionsgate. And I won't go into all of that, but I have done a ton of Lionsgate videos in the past. I'll drop them in the description. I'm not going to go so deep in this video about what Lionsgate is because I have done that year after year after year. So I'm just going to drop those down. If you want to take the deep dive delve and to really become a master of Lionsgate, I highly recommend watching those. I love to talk about this. But this year, I want to focus all on this Jupiter, Venus, Sirius conjunction, because this is what's juicy about 2025 in particular. But anyways, when Sirius aligns with the Pyramid of Giza, as you're seeing above my head, this Sirius declination in the night sky in Egypt is literally located at 88 degrees on August 8th. And this is when the Egyptians would pray to the goddess Isis and do all their spiritual rituals, probably some spiritual sacrifice. Whatever spiritual rituals the Egyptians did, it was all to bring rain to the Nile River because the water that would fill the Nile River in August would water the crops, and the crops would bring food, and that would bring nourishment. And in a desert, rain becomes vital for life. And I live in the high desert, and I can tell you, rain is. I came from Seattle where it rained all the time. And then I came to the desert, the high desert in Central Oregon, and now I pray for rain. I just miss the rain. I want rain so bad. Because when you get that desert rain, you can feel the life being reborn, and the smell of a desert rain is like all the flowers coming to life and the plants glistening with that moisture. And we just might find out in our lifetime what the Egyptians knew, that is, water is wealth. You can't have wealth without water. You can't have food without water. You can't have sustenance. As human beings, we require drinking water every day. We're 90% water. Water is so important to our bodies and soul. Water equals wealth. Even in feng shui, which I study, a lot of feng shui space clearing, water is wealth. We need water more than anything else on this planet to survive, to grow food, to have livestock, to prosper. We have to have water. So this Lionsgate portal is a prayer for water, and it's about manifesting what you need to survive. What do you need to survive right now? Is it money? Is it a home? Is it love? Do you want to have a baby? Whatever you feel like you need, this is the time, this Lionsgate time, to get really spiritual, to ask God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, to ask, believe, and receive. Speak your intentions, put your intentions in the comment, talk about it, pray to it, and pull up the deepest faith you can muster, because Jupiter is really involved this year, and Jupiter wants you to have faith. And when you ask, believe, and receive, believing, having faith in the belief that this is possible for you, that is the most important thing. When you connect to this higher power, source, God, goddess, the universe, this is a time to pray for what you want and have faith that it's showing up, and thank the higher beings. Thank them as if it's already here. Thank you so much for my dream house with an infinity pool. I'm so grateful, right? You got to say it like you already have it. Give thanks for what you are trying to call in. And when the rains return water to the desert, dry riverbed, like they do in Egypt, in the Nile, every August on the Lionsgate, everything suddenly comes alive. Those dried out plants suddenly are reborn, and they shine with moisture. And there is an aromatherapy perfume that, if you've ever been in a desert rain, I also went to Chico State in the Sierra Nevada desert. I guess I'm just a desert dweller. I just always end up in the desert. And also in New Mexico, when you smell that desert rain, there's nothing else like it. You can't bottle that. It's just amazing. And all the birds come out to start singing. And this is about rebirth. We've been talking about rebirth in the astrology for some time now. And this rebirth energy brings fertility, because new life is born when the rain returns to the dry desert bed. So this Lionsgate time is also a pivotal time for your fertility rituals. I do fertility acupressure in Oregon, and I have several clients trying to get pregnant right now. This is the time to pray for the Lionsgate to bring you that baby. And if you're trying to conceive, this is the most fertile time of the year. And if you've ever been in a dry desert when there is that summer rain, you just might have experienced that rebirth feeling where this desolate, dry, dusty desert suddenly comes alive with growth and it feels so fertile. And if you want to know more about this Lionsgate, like I said, I'm not going to go into the full Lionsgate and Isis and all the things in this video because I want to focus on the amazing Jupiter Venus Sirius alignment that is just unique to this 2025 year. And I want to read the Sabian. I have my Sabian symbols for the massive transformation. And wow, it's mind blowing. It's going to come to our world on August 8th. And Sirius is the dog star. And if you know where Sirius star shows up in your chart, it is your place of power when it comes to manifesting. It's really who you are when you're most powerful. And let me know in the comments if you know, look at your chart, look at your Sirius star. You might need to get a special chart because not every astrology chart shows Sirius, but I have a software that does show Sirius. So if you want to look it up, I am doing a Lionsgate astrology sale. This is one of my best sales of the year. If you just want to get your chart and you want to know where Sirius star is, for just $88, you will receive your chart and I will point out where this Sirius dog star, Jupiter and Venus alignment, this rare alignment is and what it means for you. Plus, I always send in some distance Reiki and a pendulum energy clearing to just clear the way so you can manifest what you're trying to call in on this Lionsgate portal. I'll put a link down below in the description, and then you will have your astrology chart. I know a lot of you say, how do I get my astrology chart? I don't have one. And if you do one of these sales, you will have your astrology chart with the Sirius star portal. And then you can begin to really learn how to read your chart with every new moon and full moon reading we do. You can say, if I say, where is your Leo? What house is your Leo? You can look at your chart and go, oh, my Leo is right there. And then you can comment below and I'll give you a little mini reading about what that means. For instance, I am a Leo rising. Can you tell? Leo risings are a little bit overly confident. It's true. And Leo rising is probably why I am Lionsgate obsessed, and I have been since 1991. It always brings me this clarity and clairvoyance, and the Lionsgate is always the time when I make my wish list for the universe and I manifest what I want. I am a real August 8th manifester. And the Lionsgate can also guide you on your path and help you prosper in all the ways you need to survive and thrive. And I was raised by a single mother, so I really needed to learn this manifestation for survival. I don't know if any of you need to manifest to survive. Some people manifest effortlessly and they don't even need it, but others, we manifest because we need to survive and thrive. So, and the Sirius dog star is considered our spiritual sun. It shines its light. It's like your soul's flashlight. You can see it shining so bright above my head right now. It brings enlightenment. And Sirius star, when it shines its light, it's like your mother shining a flashlight in your eye when you're sleeping, saying, wake up. This is your awakening. This is some deep awareness. You need to look at some things and you're like, whoa, wait, I've been asleep. This Lionsgate always wakes us up to what we need to be looking at in our life. wherever it shows up in your chart. And this year's Sirius conjunct Jupiter, that light is expanded because Jupiter is the expander. And so this light is going to shine even brighter as a big old wake up call for our world. Raise your hand if you think our world needs a wake up call from Sirius shining a flashlight while you're sleeping. This is what's happening right now. And then here comes Venus opening our heart and saying, you also got to turn on your love light. Because if your heart isn't open, it's not going to manifest. And if there's not love in the dream, you won't get the thing, right? And so Venus is opening our heart, and Jupiter is expanding that bright, Sirius flashlight. And this will be the brightest spiritual, soul awakening sunlight our planet has ever seen. And thank Goddess, because we sure need it right now. You know, the stars align for what we need. The stars are going to align to help us survive and thrive. That is Lionsgate. So I'm going to focus on exactly where this Jupiter-Venus Sirius light bright alignment will take place in your chart personally when you get that Lionsgate chart. And for example, in my chart, it's going to be in my 11th house of friendship. That's where my Cancer resides. Cancer, this is going to be in Cancer this year. And all my friends are Cancers. I have more friends in Cancer than anybody else. And Cancer is in my 11th house of friendship and community connections. And this house, which is normally ruled by Aquarius, will be going into the Aquarius full moon when I will be teaching my Lionsgate Lionsgate Reiki class on August 8th through August 9th at the 7th Mountain Resort in Bend. I love to do a class with the power of 8, and I often teach from my home. And I have a home spa here in Central Oregon. But this year, the class already filled to full. And I thought, gosh, I feel like more people need this medicine. So I got a space at the 7th Mountain Resort in Central Oregon. It's just beautiful. You're deep in the forest. We can walk to the Deschutes River on our lunch break. They have swimming pools. Maybe we can go swimming. And I'll put the link down below if you're interested. The Lionsgate Reiki class is August 8th, Friday. We gather for an attunement, and then we come back on Saturday and we do hands-on healing on the Aquarius full moon with Pluto and Aquarius right now. This is going to be the most transformational Lionsgate Reiki class I have ever taught, and I am here for it. I'm so excited. I'm thrilled to be doing what I love, coming together in deep connection with fellow healers who feel like best friends. Every time I teach this class, I'll meet brand new people and they just feel like soul connection. Maybe that's the Pluto retrograde that we're having right now. And during this class, we will open our heart chakra with the Reiki attunements and then do some powerful hands-on healing. It's just such an amazing way to unplug from all the chaos of our world right now. Just get offline and plug into a higher vibrational Reiki energy if you can. And then when you receive a Reiki attunement in a Reiki class, it begins a 21-day cycle of transformation. So everyone who is attuned on August 8th will be really aligning to this Lionsgate energy this year because it has such incredibly auspicious astrology aspects. And like I said, this class was full, but now I have more openings. So I'll link it down below if you're interested. But let's continue to dive even deeper into this rare Jupiter, Venus, Sirius, all coming together in Cancer at 15 degrees because of that precession of star. Sirius has moved back from Leo to Cancer, where Jupiter is. Jupiter will be transiting Cancer all year. So if you are a Cancer, this is your time to write your Jupiter Santa Christmas list because Jupiter will bring it in your chimney this year. It's a one-time, 1 year only offer, and Jupiter won't be back in Cancer until 2037. So, my Cancer friends, make your wishes now. Ask, believe, and receive with the focus on the believe. And when Jupiter, the king of wishes, enters Cancer, Jupiter is exalted. And if you don't know what exalted, if you're new here, exalted means every planet has a home in the zodiac where they just feel the most at home. It's like going home after a long trip. You're like, oh, so glad to be home. I just feel so good at home. And when Jupiter enters Cancer, Jupiter is empowered. Cancer is Jupiter's most powerful placement, and Jupiter is a powerful guy, anyways. So it's just like going home. Jupiter is that planet that rules our faith and beliefs. And he urges us to ask, believe, and receive to manifest all of our heart's desire. So, Jupiter will deliver abundance. Jupiter will deliver miracles. If you need a miracle, Jupiter will deliver. He's also the great expander. Wherever he shows up, he expands it. So, Jupiter conjunct Sirius is that expansion of our soul's brightest sun. Wow, on this Lionsgate. And it's just going to expand the light shining on our world, shining on our soul, guiding us to our soul's divine purpose. If you don't know your soul's divine purpose, this is turning the light on so you can see. We can see clearly now whatever it is our soul needs, and this gives us the tools to manifest it. And I do prenatal massage, and I am seeing some babies that will be born this August. I have about 5 babies right now that I've been working with their mamas, and I'm like, oh man, these babies. They have huge soul purpose. Imagine having this rare celestial transit in your birth astrology chart. These are the wise ones coming in who are going to save us all. So God bless the babies being born. If you are pregnant right now, let me know in the comments. I will send your baby some Reiki, distance Reiki, no matter where you live, because your baby is extra special if you are pregnant right now, about to birth in August. Wow, your baby will have this Jupiter, Venus, Sirius alignment, and let them rule with divine power and grace, and let them come and save us all. I am really hopeful knowing that these beings of divine light are being born right now. And Jupiter's exact degree of exaltation in Cancer is 15 degrees. The degree of exaltation means Jupiter will be in his most powerful place in the whole chart. And Jupiter is that celestial king. He is just the most powerful planet. And you know, not all kings are bad. I know I was at the No Kings protest, and we don't want Donald Trump to be king, but there are some righteous, spiritual, beautiful kings like Jupiter. Some say God is even a king. So this has, Jupiter's about God too. Jupiter brings us our faith in God. If you have a faith in God, when Jupiter aligns with Sirius, this can really light up a faith in God or a faith in a higher power. And Sirius will be at 14 degrees, 14.75. I mean, we round up, it's right there at 15. And Jupiter's point of exaltation is 15 degrees of Cancer. This will be the most powerful time to ask King Jupiter, please, King Jupiter, I just want an infinity pool. No, I hope you ask for something better than that. And make your wishes. Drop your wish in the comments. I'll Reiki it. I'm really in a Lionsgate mood and I'm loving to Reiki things for my friends right now. But we're already soaking in this Sirius star gateway. Can you feel it? Can you feel some shifting energy? I'm an empath healer. I've been doing Reiki for 27 years and I am definitely feeling it. I'm having mystical, magical dreams. And there is a strange kind of hope for the future I'm feeling, even in the chaos of our world, even as things seem dismal. If you really tap in to the energy of this moment, there's some powerful energetic shifts going on behind the scenes. And I like to call it smoking hopium. I've definitely been smoking hopium because it feels like I just want to tune into hope and joy and love and not worry about whatever the news is saying. And there's Jupiter Sirius alignment is big, powerful medicine for our world right now. And maybe King Jupiter aligned with Sirius will just change everything. But it's going to be a long process and it's going to require deep faith in a higher power, whatever you call that. What is your higher power? I'd love to know in the comments. We all have some kind of higher power that sees us through, that helps us to survive and thrive. And this is a time to connect in with that divine higher power. I like to call it spirit for myself. And if you can take August 8th and August 9th off, right when this is really heating up on the Lionsgate date, just, unplug from all the noise and just get away from any of your obligations. Get offline and just honor this divine healing energy in some kind of ceremony. It can be as simple as taking a bath with a lot of beautiful aromatherapy and healing salts. Or maybe you just light a candle and sit in the darkness and do some candle gazing. That's talk about connecting to the light. I highly recommend doing some kind of Lionsgate ritual. And I've talked about these Lionsgate rituals in my past videos, which I will drop down in the description. You'll just want to get into alignment with this Jupiter Sirius exalted way that we will never see again in our lifetime. So spend some time sitting in mindfulness and just connect in. Maybe you want to get a journal and do some free writing of like divine messages that are coming through. Our ancestors, aliens, and spirit guides really want to communicate with us right now. So be sure you carve out a little time this August to listen. And I'm going to record a Lionsgate sound healing with some distance Reiki to celebrate this auspicious planetary alignment. I'm really excited about it. So give it a listen on August 8th all the way through August 21st. You could just listen to it while you sleep, and I will be sending you distance Reiki healing. I did this for the 222 portal. And oh my gosh, it was really powerful. Our computer was heating up so much, I almost couldn't upload it. And you could just feel this energy coming through. So I love to do these distance healings. And then let's not forget Venus, that divine feminine rising. Venus has gone through her whole Venus star pattern and she's now risen as morning star. I actually was able to witness Venus at 4 a.m. this morning in a close alignment with Jupiter. They're already coming in for a kiss. And you can already see them if you wake up in the morning. And for me, it's east. It could be different where you live. You might need to look it up. But Venus and Jupiter are coming in closer and they're getting ready for this Venus Sirius star alignment. We can't quite see Sirius star in the Pacific Northwest where I live. If you're in Egypt, you can see Sirius star, Venus and Jupiter are ready. But right now I can just see Venus and Jupiter, and Venus is shining at almost maximum. I mean, she reached her point of maximum brightness earlier this year. And wow. Venus comes into the scene to see what's going on with her beloved boyfriend, Jupiter, as he reaches his degree of exaltation, and Venus is shining so bright. And then the Sirius soul shining, the flashlight. There's so many light beams in our early morning, 4 a.m. I like to get up at 4 a.m. and look at Venus. Venus shows up with her crown of diamonds. If you look at Venus, there's almost like this sparkling diamond crown around her. Venus with her crown of light. She's got her glorious light beams. She's shining her love light on this incredible moment as we come into this Lionsgate. Venus in Cancer is the divine mother. Mommy's home. Mommy's going to take care of everything. I feel real Mother Mary miracle vibes. Like we are all being comforted by Venus, the divine mother. And I have prayed to Mother Mary before. I have had Mother Mary just come to me as somebody who has always come through for me when I needed something, like I needed a place to live, and Mother Mary was there. I'm going to tell that story another time. But of course, Lionsgate also relates to the queen Egyptian goddess Isis, who's coming in strong. And Isis is a real Venus empowered, Venus divine, feminine energy morning star. Isis shines bright. Isis brings life. She is the life giver. If you are like ill or you have cancer or you're trying to stay alive, man, you pray to Isis on the Lionsgate. Isis will save your life. Or if I was in a situation, if I was drowning, I would pray to Isis. That would be the one. She will save your life. She gives life. Isis gives wealth, divine, heavenly wealth, the heavenly favor that says you can have it all. Isis can heal you. And there is this energy here of that matriarchal mother of all power when Isis comes in. She rules all the same things that Venus does. Isis rules love and money. If you have love and money, I do a lot of astrology readings for people, and I feel like those are the two things. People are either like, I'm looking for love, I'm looking for money. I'm looking for love, I'm looking for money. If you have love and money, you are golden. I feel pretty grateful. I have both of those. Plus, Isis brings the heavenly waters to nourish the crops, to grow the food for our very survival and sustenance. And we are in a time when our world feels a little scary. Like, are we going to survive this? So we can pray to Isis. Maybe you want to just pull up an image online and invoke the goddess Isis as that vital resource. Just acknowledge Isis, please save us all. Just as in ancient times, ancient Egypt, we are now in this Earth Mother year in the 9-star key. So it's all about respect for the earth, respect for the mother. And if you haven't already, watch my 9-star key video for 2025 because we are now at the halfway point for the lunar new year. This 9-star key, it goes on the lunar new year, which is definitely more connected to that divine feminine. The feminine is the moon. And we're really soaking in that 2 Earth star energy, that struggle to sprout upwards, to grow forth. Maybe you've been trying to do something all year and it just hasn't been happening. And this 2 Earth star really honors that divine feminine energy as even the solar storms. We've had so much solar storms and geomagnetic energy also increasing the energy vibrations of this whole year. And all of it combines to say, we got to honor our earth. Mother. We've got to honor Isis. We've got to honor Venus. We've got to honor our true ruler, which is the earth we stand on, the earth that is always under us, supporting us. As we are seeing floods and hurricanes, and we're realizing our divine Mother Earth could overpower all of mankind in an instant if she's not happy. And the Earth Mother is not happy. You gotta keep mama happy, or no one will be happy. I heard the Dalai Lama say that in person when I was with my husband and my little baby. My son was a baby. He's like 18 now, so I guess that was 18 years ago. My son was a baby. We went to see the Dalai Lama, and he is so funny. If you've ever seen the Dalai Lama, I've seen him about 10 times, and he says, you got to keep mama happy, or no one is going to be happy. And so we got to do what we can to make the earth happy and to honor the water and honor the divine mother on this Lionsgate. And right now I'm listening to this audiobook called A Different Kind of Power by the female New Zealand Prime Minister of New Zealand, who rose to power just after giving birth to her child. It is a fascinating read. I'm listening to her say it in Audible. It's really beautiful. And it's all about how we can rule the world in the way of the divine feminine, the divine mother, just as she ruled New Zealand during the pandemic as a mother with a newborn. Can you even imagine? That's a lot to take on. And this is the kind of energy that is pouring in. This is your moment to step into your power, to do the thing, to do something bigger than you thought you could. I'm sure she was freaking out when she had this baby and then she became the prime minister and then there was a pandemic. But she rose to the occasion. This Sirius star is shining its light, saying it is time for you to rise to the occasion, to step into your power, to dream big and then dream even bigger. How big can you get it? And that energy is pouring in. And with Jupiter, the king, exalted, expanding, Venus coming in with the divine feminine rising, when they come together, it's also a time, a call to balance our divine feminine with our divine masculine. And if we can get that balance in a way that no one has power over, but instead it's like that infinity symbol. Do you know the infinity symbol? The sign of eight. Remember, this is all about 888. Eight is that number of abundance. And how do you get true abundance? When you have that balance in flow of energy. I don't know if I'm doing a very good eight symbol, but you know that infinity symbol, in a perfect harmony relationship between man and woman. They feed each other energetically in a way that just keeps that energy flowing in a momentum, right? That infinity momentum where there's no power over. It's just a deep connection, a communal bond, win-win collaborations, community, connection, where we come together and each becomes stronger by working together. It's a secret to a truly satisfying relationship. If you can get that infinity symbol, that harmony, that momentum, that balance. I am lucky to have an incredibly supportive partner, and I try my best to show up for him in the same unconditional, loving, supportive way that he shows me. And we both try to keep the flow of support going. But sure, there's some days when one person's sick or the other person's doing more, and there can be these minor imbalances in the divine feminine and divine masculine, but you keep trying to get back to that flow of an energetic exchange in your relationship, that symbol eight between the feminine and the masculine. And even within yourself, we have feminine and masculine energy that we're trying to balance. Just like there's sunlight during the day that motivates us to do things, and moonlight at night that lulls us to sleep like a mother with a lullaby. There's that yin yang energy to balance. So, this Lionsgate is all about manifesting with the balance of the divine feminine that is Venus and the divine masculine that is Jupiter, and having that flow that is the 8 vibration. And really get out a journal and just draw eights and see if you can tap into that flow. And this Lionsgate, you can really manifest all those fourth house Cancer things because it's happening in Cancer. Things like a safe home, and the real estate market's probably really going to take off under this influence, this alignment in the fourth house. If you're thinking about buying a house, I really regret now pausing. I paused my real estate license for this year because the market was really rocky and volatile, and I just felt like I'm going to take a year off. But now I feel like I just want to redo my real estate license because this fourth house Cancer star alignment is a good time to buy land, to buy a farm, to buy a home, to find a safe home. And this is like a healing salve for everything that has to do with home, bringing harmony and healing into your home. This is about motherhood. Cancer rules mothers. And so this can be even healing your relationship with your own mother. If you're lucky enough to have a mother who's still alive, call your mother. I'll be that one that says, you need to call your mother. I wish I could call my mom every day. We used to have the most beautiful, soul touching conversations on the phone, but I lost her. So I'm going to tell you, do not neglect your mom. You may regret it later on when she's gone, like I do. I wish I had her phone number now. And even deeper into the fourth house Cancer, this goes into ancestral healing. And the ancestors and spirit guides are really coming forward to guide us right now. We just had a beautiful ancestral story where I live, where the Klamath dams were removed so that indigenous people in Oregon who've been here way longer than we have, they could return to their original way of life, fishing for salmon on the Klamath River. Oh my God, hallelujah. And the salmon were going extinct because of this stupid dam that barely made any hydroelectrical power. It was the whole dam was just a huge mistake, man-made mistake. And when they removed this man-made dam, that was all related to Saturn Uranus square, I swear. The salmon are already returning. The salmon are already flourishing this summer, and they had their first river paddle to celebrate. And all these indigenous teenagers paddled the Klamath River in kayaks, and they all said they truly felt the presence of their ancestors who had helped to make this a reality. I did a little reel about it. It is so beautiful. The ancestors are coming in. We can see these little mystical, magical moments where these higher, unseen forces are at play, and they are bringing divine miracles. If you could just be open to receive it, these miracles are popping up all over the planet. And it's about to get really good on our planet. If you choose to focus on these high vibrational good news stories. I'm really trying to focus on the good news stories. I'm getting pulled in by some negative stories too, but then I try to go back to the high vibration. I'm seeing some really positive change, like that Klamath River story. So let's read the Sabian symbol. I got my book and it's Dane Rudyar, the Sabian symbol for this powerful place where Jupiter and Venus and Sirius will align. And I want to start at 14 degrees of 14 degrees of Cancer, just so we can see the precession from 14 degrees to 15 degrees. Now, 15 degrees is where Jupiter is exalted. Cancer, 14 degrees is a very old man facing a vast, dark space to the northeast. And the keynote is fulfillment in transcending and changeless wisdom. Fulfillment in transcending and changeless wisdom from this wise old man with ancestral energy. This is the ancestors coming in. And the ancestors, he is facing the northeast direction. And if you've ever worked with the elements, you know the north is where the elders live. And the north is the direction of earth, and the east is direction of air. So this is mountains, mountain of wisdom where the wise ones are, combining with the breath of the spiritual cosmic forces that will bring divine wisdom that we need right now. And this reminds me of like Father Time, who rules the change of season. During the Golden Age, there was a time when no such change occurred. And it's kind of like Rachel Carson's book, When Spring Doesn't Come, a perpetual spring reigned, but the seasons didn't change. And the wise old man is facing this new, changeless reality. Can you imagine if we didn't have seasons? And we are all stepping into the great void, the apparent darkness, which is an intense light that is invisible to our senses. By consistently and for a long time meditating on this changelessness and this spiritual reality of darkness at the core of all experiences, one can attain the supreme age-old wisdom of permanence in truth. And this is so fascinating. If you're interested in these Sabian symbols, you could get this book by Dane Rudhyar. I don't do AI. I do books. I'm old. I'm Generation X. I'm that forgotten generation. But anyways, this is so fascinating because I recently did this meditation where you make money into your spirit guide as a way to manifest more money and abundance. And I dreamed that money was this old wise man in a starry sky. And he was ancient, like, when people just are old as dirt. And they were having a festival, and it reminded me of a combination of Dios de los Muertos of Mexico, because there were all these butterflies, combined with the rose harvest of Bulgaria. Both of these are on my bucket list. I think I'm getting old myself, and I'm like, I gotta start doing these bucket list moments. I gotta go to Dios de los Muertos, never been, and I gotta go to the rose harvest in Bulgaria. So anyways, this old wise man, just like this Sabian symbol, was here in this festival, and there were butterflies and roses, and everyone was waiting in line to meet this old man who was really money. It's like money is getting old. And everyone was worried he might die soon, and they wanted to sort of get a piece of him before he died. And his son was there to care for him, and his son was so kind, like Jesus. And this Sabian symbol reminds me of this dream. It was just so wild. And the great void of this Sabian symbol really resonates with this constellation of Cancer, which is said to reside in the darkest dark of our night sky. Cancer rules over motherhood, and in this deepest dark void of Cancer, it's like being in the darkness of the womb where you cannot see outside the womb, as if our world was thrust into the darkness of a deep, dark womb right now, as we await the birth process into the light of awakening that is coming. And this is such an interesting Sabian symbol. It's like we're all in the dark, but here comes Sirius, the flashlight, and here comes Jupiter expanding the flashlight. And here comes Venus. She's saying, I got a love light. And they're all going to light us up as we await the light in the deepest dark void of Cancer. Whew, this is a good one. And then the next Sabian symbol, I like to read the progression. So we go from 14 to 15, Cancer, 15 degrees, where Jupiter is exalted, is a sumptuous dining hall where guests relax after partaking of a massive banquet. That is so Jupiter. Jupiter is like that cornucopia of abundance, the harvest season. There's more than enough. You're at a banquet and there's so much food. And food is all about abundance, just as the water from the Nile River, the water from the Lionsgate will nourish the farms to produce the food, to create the banquet, and that is abundance. And the keynote is the need that exists at an early stage of human growth to materialize the concept of fulfillment. Jupiter is bringing the fulfillment, and now we're suddenly thrust into a place of the highest abundance with more than enough to eat, with all the good things earthly life provides, such as nourishment, plenty of food, and this is the keynote is the materialization of what was once spiritual. So we're going through this spiritual Lionsgate, but we can manifest actual material wealth, abundance, more than enough to eat. That big trip to Costco where you buy whatever you want and you can afford it. That is Jupiter. That's Jupiter bringing in everything you need. Jupiter is the great provider. Jupiter is like the father, and Venus is like the mother. Venus is the divine mother. Jupiter is the divine father who says, I'll take care of you. And now I have to tell you my crazy manifestation story. I'm just wrapping this up. One of my Reiki master students came to visit me for a healing, and we were talking about the signs that the universe gives you when you're just about to manifest in a really big way, and she's about to manifest something really big. And I would love to know if you ever get a particular sign. Maybe you find a four-leaf clover. What signs do you get right before you get a big manifestation, or that little sign that tells you, oh, I know it's on its way? And she said she knows her windfall moment is coming when she starts hearing her name in public randomly. It's like the universe is calling out her name, calling her name out loud to just get her attention. Like, pay attention, it's coming. Something big is about to happen. And then she says if she hears her first name with her middle name together, then she really knows that something big is on its way. Something big is coming in. And it every time when she hears her name, if it's her name and her middle name especially, something big manifests. Whatever she was trying to manifest just comes to her effortlessly. I love that. So I'd never heard of this one. I love to hear new manifestation techniques. Feel free to drop them down because I'm like really into manifesting, and I was raised by a very strict Catholic mother. So when I hear my first name and my middle name used together, I just immediately feel like I'm in big trouble. My mom would only say Terry Lynn if I did something really wrong. I guess I did a lot of bad things as a kid. And the only thing worse is if she called me Teresa Lynn. I didn't even want to go home if I heard Teresa Lynn. That's my real first name, middle name. But this idea did resonate with me, and this student is a master manifester. She has really manifested things. I've watched her manifest amazing things. So I thought, this is interesting. I'm going to just ask the universe to call my name so I know I'm going to manifest something. And I love this fresh take on just hearing your first and middle name called out in the world as a sign that the universe is calling you to pay attention. You're about to manifest. Well, the very next day, I was at the grocery store, and since we were just talking about manifesting financial windfalls, I thought it would be fun to play the lottery. And I got a hit to play the lottery. I just love to play. I don't play all the time, but I play when I get a little nudge from the universe. So I was at the lottery machine just putting my money in when I overheard this funny conversation. A customer was asking, do you have my wallet? And the woman said, oh, yes, here you go. And then the woman was looking in her wallet and it was full of money, which that feels like a good omen for when you're playing the lottery. And she goes, "Oh my God, I am so grateful to have this wallet back with everything in it because I had over $10,000 in cash. And I just want to pay it forward and leave some money for the person who found it and called me. And her name was Terry." I can't believe I heard my name. I never hear my name. I think I have a pretty rare name. You don't hear Terry that often. And I was like, what? She just said my name. I can't believe we were just talking about this and I never hear it. And sure, if your name is Jennifer or Jessica or Mary, you probably hear your name in the world all the time, but I never do. So then it gets even weirder. The woman at the counter said, "Well, Terry's the one who called you, but actually it was Lynn who found your wallet in the parking lot. So I don't know if you want to give money to Terry or Lynn." She just keeps saying these names over and over. I'm like, is this even happening right now? Meanwhile, I'm like picking lottery tickets. I'm like, I think I'm going to win. And she said my first and middle name multiple times. And then the woman's like, I'm just going to split it. I'm going to give half to Terry and half to Lynn. Great. This woman's giving money to Terry and Lynn. I'll take it. And I just couldn't believe that actually happened after I just saw my client the day before. And then um, I went shopping and then I went to go check out. And of course, wouldn't you know, my cashier's name's Teresa. I see her name pin. I go, of course, it's Teresa. That's unbelievable. And I'm not sure. I was just like kind of blown away. I wasn't hearing it, but I just saw the name and I was blown away. And then this other cashier who was Terry, the girl who must have called the other girl, she comes up to the cashier and says, "Oh, hi, Teresa. I don't think we've met. I'm Terry and I'm here to give you a break." And I'm like, "Are you?" They're saying my name all over the place. And then they went on to talk about her name is Terry, but it's actually short for Teresa. And then I'm just grinning ear to ear in this unnatural, crazy person way. Like, I can't believe this is happening right now. And then I just chime in, "Well, hey, my name's Terry, but my full name is Teresa too." And we're just laughing about it. But little did they know, I'm really grinning because I have heard my name and my middle name and my full name. I've heard all my name more times in this store in 20 minutes than I've heard my whole life. And yes, you betcha. I did win a pretty significant amount, not like infinity pool amount, but a pretty good amount on that lottery ticket. So this technique really does work. And I just, when I have moments like this, I don't know if you do this, but I just look up at the stars and say, "I know that was you." I know that was you. I know that was you, Sirius Star. I know that was you. I'm usually talking to my mom. I like to say, "I know that was you, Mom." And I like to say I have an even better relationship with my mom now that she's crossed over. There's no more earthly mother-daughter drama. It's just a pure love connection. And I feel like I just want to say a bunch of names at the end right now because if you've been trying to manifest something, I'm going to say some names, see if you hear it. It reminds me of Romper Room. If you're old like me, you might remember that on Romper Room, the teacher would look through her magic mirror. I'm just going to pretend I have a magic mirror here and I want to say some names. And if you hear your name, you just won a free Lionsgate distance Reiki. Leave me a comment in the below and I'm going to send you, I'm talking quality, 25 minutes. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to send you distance energy for you to manifest. You can tell me what you're trying to manifest. You can tell me what you're trying to call in, or you can just keep it like a secret. Because sometimes when I'm manifesting, I like to keep it like a secret. Even if you keep it like a secret, doesn't matter. The energy will still help you to manifest. So here we go. In my magic mirror, I see Lisa. And I'll try to come up with names that might not usually get picked or names that have been picked on. Like I see Karen. I don't know why people insist on saying mean things about the name Karen. I know several Karens who I absolutely adore. I see Karen. I see Gwendolyn. I see Martha. I see Amy. I see Lindsay. I see Mo. I see Scott. I see Trina. I see Diana. I see Jessica. I see Denise. And I see Steve. Okay, of course, all my Reiki Master students are really coming in. It's got to be the Reiki connection. But if I said your name, let me know in the comments and I will send you that free Lionsgate Distance Reiki. And in the midst of all this Lionsgate high vibrational, heart opening energy, we also have that magic triangle I've been talking about happening between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto that I'm going to record that transit next. So stay tuned, friends, for even more. We just have the rare celestial events happening back to back this year. What a time to be alive, right? We're so lucky to be alive right now as we're seeing this rebirth into the age of Aquarius, and I'm here for it. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.